This is the International Women's Day episode. It's a special episode because we are featuring women, not just one guest, but more than one. The others are yet to join us, and we are looking forward to a productive meeting. To our viewers, we are having different leaders from different countries within the YMCA space. I don't want to call them women leaders, and I know we are going to get into that conversation. So they are leaders who happen to be women. And before we dive into our discussion today, maybe I'll give them a space to introduce themselves. Yes, so we will start with Esther. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and maybe one fun fact about you.
Hi, leaders and colleagues. My name is Esther Angweni. Professionally, I'm a teacher, though retired, but not tired. I've been a teacher for long, about 35 years before I retired. And I taught in many, many schools where I bonded very well with the young people. I've taught in a boys' school, in a mixed school, in a girls' school, in a day school, in a boarding school. So I have a lot of things I can tell you about the youth through my profession. Currently, I run a CBO, which also deals with the youth. A safe space for the youth to stay when they are on holiday, and those who are also at home. It's a recreational center where they come and pass their time instead of going to look for trouble in towns and other spaces which are not good for them. So I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. In fact, I got my second grandson yesterday.
Wow.
So I'm happy to be here to discuss about women because I'm one of them and I believe in women. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Nali?
All right, so my name is Nali for Nalisoa. At the YMCA, I am from Madagascar, YMCA Madagascar. I've been part of a different program, whether is it with the African Alliance or YMCA World Alliance. So I'm an I2C ambassador, alumni, change agent alumni, and currently I'm part of the executive committee of the African Alliance and the World Alliance of YMCAs. A fun fact about me, I'm allergic to apple pills. That's it.
Okay. It's okay. Ethiopia.
Hi everyone, my name is Ethiopia Tulahon. I'm from Ethiopia. My country is Ethiopia, so my name and my country is the same. So I currently work for the Institute of International Education as a director for the Sub-Saharan Africa and Ethiopia office. I'm a president of Ethiopia YMCA and also a vice president for African Alliance. I also work with one local organization as a board to contribute for that organization. One fact about myself, I have an 11 years old son. So.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Seeing Charelle is trying to be part of us, technical hitches, I think, but when she's stable, she's going to introduce herself. We can just start. And our first question is going to Esther to maybe paint a picture of, the status of women, how women are in Kenya, and where you think we are in terms of equality and empowerment.
Thanks again. Women in Kenya, I would say, are very, very active in their various roles. We have women in Kenya who have tried various leadership roles. Among the roles that we know that makes Kenyan women outgoing is that they've tried to shed off the idea of being discriminated against. We know very well that Kenyan women have gone even for leadership positions, including presidential leadership. And this makes me realize that Kenyan women are outgoing, and some of the businesses that we have, which are really doing well in Kenya, are by Kenyan women. Kenyan women are not a easy pushover. They usually go hand in hand with men. As much as they might not really get it easy, but usually they do what they can to get what they want. Though I'm not saying that Kenyan women are liberated yet. They are not yet, but they are on the way to liberation. And that's why we say some of the big businesses we have are managed by Kenyans. We have very many banks which are taken care of or managed by the women. But still there are hurdles that men feel like when you have a strong woman who knows their rights, they feel that they are being sat on, if I can use that phrase. And hence, they make it look like the women who are empowered, they start giving them bad names. So if you find that there is an aggressive lady, like one, for example, we have Mrs. Martha Karua. She ran for presidential position sometime, and after that she was given a name that she's an iron lady. Iron not because she's strong, but because she feels that she is strong. But what I've realized is that through it all, women in Kenya, in business, in politics, in various positions, they are doing well. Look at our justice system. We have our Chief Justice is a lady. In fact, we have 3 senior positions managed by ladies in Kenya.
Yeah.
The president of the Law Society of Kenya is a lady. So when I look at the way things are going in Kenya, if we stay firm and go for our rights, I think we'll be doing very well. Though we still have the challenges of people thinking that we are not yet there. But if we continue with the aggressiveness that we have, with the leadership that we have of women, I think we'll go far. So we are on the right path as per now, if I can say, as per the Kenyan women professionally. Business-wise, we have women who have CBOs or NGOs which are fighting for women's rights. All those we have women who are lawyers, we have women who are governors. 7 women are governors in Kenya. We also have women who are senators, women who are MPs, members of parliament in various places. So I would say freedom is coming. We are not yet there, but we are coming. And I wish this for all the Kenyans and other African women.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Esther. I think the key takeaway is, we are not yet there, but based on the strides that we've made so far, we are somewhere, and we are getting somewhere. And I'm looking forward to hearing from the other ladies from different countries and what they have. Charelle, hi, how are you? Welcome. I hope your internet is okay. Maybe you can unmute and introduce yourself. And your question is going to be painting a picture of women in Cameroon, what they have, and where you think they are in terms of empowerment and in terms of equality. So your introduction. Please tell us one fun fact about you. Oh no, she has dropped out again. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Uh, okay, it's an internet thing. Maybe Esther again. On your end, do you have like a specific cultural practice you think is still holding Kenyan women behind?
Yeah, many, very many. Kenyan women are subjected to a lot of traditional issues where, for example, a woman cannot inherit anything from the parents, and single mothers are really looked down upon because they feel that they got children out of wedlock and hence they are unfit to be called proper women, because to people they feel that the women who get children or who are single mothers are not straightforward. We have issues about gender-based violence in Kenya. In fact, of late, we've been having a lot of homicide. Women are being killed. You don't know who killed them. You just find them dumped in rivers. Some are dumped in forests. It's been a very, very sorry state in our country until, if you are very careful or if you read media, there's a time even women took to the streets to protest about homicide for women in Kenya. We have issues of the gender-based violence also is quite something serious. Women are clobbered or beaten up by their husbands, some even by their brothers. So it's something that needs to really be taken seriously, because I think if things continue the way they are doing currently, it's not going to be good for the women. So we are really facing a lot of hardship when it comes to even work. We are discriminated against. They feel a woman cannot do as much as a man can do. And hence, when it comes to even the Kenya Constitution, which states that a third of the gender should be taken care of, either women or men, but we find in Kenya that gender rule is not adhered to. Hence, women are left out of positions which they could easily hold just because they are women. And when they get such an opportunity, they are still not trusted that they can do as good as a man can do. So we need really to assert ourselves as women in Kenya to enable us really show the world or show the men that what a man can do, a woman can even do better. Because we know for sure anywhere in the world a woman can multitask, isn't it? A woman cannot multitask, a man cannot. Leave a man to take care of even a child. They'll look for you, the child is crying. But a woman can take care of a child as they are cooking, as they are washing utensils, and so on and so forth. So there are many, many issues to do with women, to do with culture, gender-based violence, to do with the FGM, early marriages. All those are really rampant in Kenya. They are working on them, but we are not yet there.
Okay. Ethiopia, on your end, what is the picture of gender equality in YMCA for you? Like, how do you see gender equality playing in YMCA as a community?
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, I mean, YMCA has been doing different programs that foster gender equality, gender equity. But the question is how intensive our interventions were. Our interventions are in order to bring a significant change. So for me, gender-related work should be mainstreamed in the day-to-day activity of our work, our organization. It should be reflected in our manuals, in our guidelines, policies, strategy, directions. If we design a gender work as a program, most of the time we're designing a program for gender-related work. But if we do that, we will assign one or two people to work on it. But if we mainstream it, it will be the organization's day-to-day intervention, and that will bring sustainable change. To bring and foster gender equity and equality, we have to work on changing the narratives, because the stories that we heard, the stories that we have, and the constructive biases that we have is really deep-rooted. So we have to deconstruct the gender biases and bring a new mindset. That's one thing we have to do in YMCA. This needs continuous intervention at family level, societal, and workplace intervention. As you know, gender is a cross-cutting issue, and the challenge that we face due to gender bias should be addressed from different directions. Culture, tradition, and religion really played a significant role in constructing gender-based gender biases in the community. So we have to deconstruct that bias by working together with all sectors. And it really needs a systemic approach and a system leader to change that narrative. For me, YMCA has the potential to be the driver of this change, but it needs a leader who understands the issue. It needs commitment, it needs strategy. Gender equality and gender-based violence and every problems that's related to gender is a multifaceted problem. So we have to work with families, schools, universities, government agencies. So for me, yes, we've been doing a lot, but it's not enough. We have to do more and approach it holistically. So that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Holistic approach towards achieving gender equality within YMCA and within the community as a whole. Welcome back, Charelle. I hope your internet is now okay. Let's give it another try. You can just introduce yourself.
I think so.
Just introduce yourself so that we see if everything is okay.
I'm so sorry for the disturbing. I got very problem with the connections today. Since morning,
No,
it doesn't
we
work.
understand. We understand. So you can just introduce yourself.
Okay, I would like to say that women in Cameroon have for a long time be under the influence of system that places them in the second role or second place in the community, in the field of education, on the social level, even at the professional level. So girls stay at home when boys went to school, and but today we are political. In Cameroon we have political leader who is the woman. We have also some microfinance who encourage and support women's project and initiative. We have also in Cameroon YMCA. Now we have our president is a woman, and the thing is working very well in Cameroon YMCA. Since she's here, she bring another leadership, and everything is good. So I think that the revolution is coming progressively. The way the revolution is coming, and the thing we change more and more.
Okay, so you're looking forward to the future where we are having more women contributing towards development and everything within YMCA and within the community as a whole. Nali, On your side, maybe I'd like you to paint a picture of a certain instance where you have felt like your leadership was seen in a particular way because you are treated a certain way because you're a woman, or it made you feel like you're being treated in a certain way because you're a woman, and like how did you react to that? What did you do?
So to answer your question, I think I'm going to take an example right away. So there was a time we had to, in our YMCA club, we had to organize a tree planting activity. And for that, we had to work with different stakeholders. And one of these stakeholders was a local authority. And we had to make an appointment with that person. And it was another leader, not me, who did the appointment. That was the young man. And then for the appointment, he couldn't come. And then I was the one there. And first of all, the assistant who received me was like, "Oh, you are the person who are going to organize the activity, the tree planting activity." And like, okay, just go and talk to the person. And I see that the person was really hesitating to talk to me and was like, "Okay, you young woman, you are the one who is going to organize the whole activity." And then, but he still gave me the chance to talk and then to explain, because we needed to talk to that person, that authority, in order to get a piece of land where we're going to plant the trees. And then when I talked, I explained the activity. This is our goal. This is how many trees, seedlings we are going to plant. And I think at the end, he managed to, he was convinced that we could do the activity, that I can lead that activity. So to tell you that as a young woman, you are not always trusted to be able to lead and to be able to do something. But then you need to prove that you are knowledgeable, you know what you're supposed to do, and you are confident. So I think based on that example, I think that is a case that many women would have been seen in different situations. And when we face to that, we need to own the space. We need to show that we are confident, we know what we're supposed to do, and that we can lead and we can do it. Not because we are a woman, but because we are human beings and we have the leadership skills that are needed.
Yeah.
I hope I answered the question, Madam Host.
Very well. I think you need to see yourself as a leader and not as a female leader. You're a leader who is a woman and not like a woman leader. And that brings us to our second set of the conversations, and this is kind of open to everyone. Reaction. It is just a reaction. So my first question is, do you believe there's a certain way a female leader is supposed to be leading that is different from how a man is supposed to be leading? In other words, does leadership recognize gender?
Let me jump here.
Yes.
Some studies showed that leadership and the interpretation of leadership have a strong gender component and perspective. As you know, gender is a socially constructed view of man and woman. So we might say that the way women lead is different from the way men lead. So women lead with passion, care, compassion, and love. We lead with respect, peace, and harmony. We lead without egos. I don't think we women, as a woman, have egos. That's my opinion. So we are more democratic, and we want our team members to feel more valued. So the way that we lead is how the difference comes, because that's how we nurtured in the community. That's how our childhood, in our childhood, the community, the society nurtured us to be like compassionate, caring, loving, peaceful, and the like. So when we lead the community, when we lead the society, when we lead the organization, we incorporate these characters in our way of leading. So that's how I see gender and leadership. Thank you.
Okay, and it is okay to be compassionate and caring within your leadership skills, or as you express your leadership skills, as opposed to
it is
men.
okay.
Yeah. As opposed to men who are expected to be more aggressive in their leadership. Okay, Esther, you want to go in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leadership is not gender-based.
Yeah.
But we say that leadership is what you want to do, and maybe professionally you know what you are doing, and you do it to your best of the ability. Now, women, as my colleague has said, are very compassionate and they are keen to details when they're doing their work. When you give a lady work to do, they do it like they've never do it again. They do it with passion. Unlike if you give men and maybe a lady is there, they'll brush off some things and they want shortcuts. But ladies are very passionate on what they do, and they do it thoroughly. And as I said, ladies, when you are given work, you appreciate and you work on it like it's something that you are doing not only for your company but for the community. So I think leadership here is not like gender-based, but there are places or there are sections where we say women do better, and there are times when we say men do better. So it's not a matter of whether you are a lady or a man. It's a matter of how much effort do you put in the leadership that you've been given. Are you passionate about it? If you're not passionate about it, even if you are a lady, you won't do it. Even if you are a man, you won't do it. And that's why we talk about equity. We are all human beings. We are all human beings. So a human beings, be it a lady or a man, can work according to your ability and according to how faithful you are to your job. So it's not a matter of being a man or a woman. It's about how much effort you put in as a person who has been given that leadership. And that's why we say if there are two jobs, one can go to a man, another one can go to a lady, so that all of them feel appreciated. Not that if there are two jobs, then they are both given to a man. Equity is very important here, so that because we know each one can do to the best of their knowledge.
Okay. You have spoken about if there are two jobs, one should be given to a lady and the other one should be given to a guy. And I'm thinking about the recent US saga that we have been having, especially on the issue of the DEI, the diversity, inclusion, and equality that has been going on. And okay, I don't know from your end. What do you think about the day? Nali, you want to go first?
What is the question, Sha?
No, I'm asking when it comes to equality and balancing both genders in the workplace, in the leadership positions, it brings in the question of diversity, inclusion, and equality. And if you look at US, they've been having that issue of doing away with the whole day thing because it's, I don't know, they have their own reasons. But then what do you think about equality, inclusion, and diversity? And do you think it has been working? And what do you think it will do? The removal of the whole thing will do to especially women and the minorities?
So diversity, inclusion, and equity. I think those are really essential concepts because historically always had like how to say that a majority that was always there who won the space, and there were people who were like left behind, whether it is because of their origin or because of their gender or because of their age, and those people really struggle to have the space. They struggle to fund the job. Sometimes they're being ignored because of that, those origin, because of the age, and because of their gender. And I think that's why it is really essential to have a DEI, because sometimes people think that you've got the job or you've got the place because of that. But we also need to think of the fact that historically, those people were discriminated because of their origin, because of their gender. And that's why it is really essential. And there's been a lot of controversy because of what that president has decided. But I think organizations like the YMCA, we should always prioritize DEI and always try to make everybody, no matter their gender, their age, or their origin, feel included. And that's it.
Okay. Yes, someone wants to take it. Ethiopia, what do you think?
For me, we have to go there to that direction, but we're not yet there to bring about the gender equity, gender equality. That's the way it should be and capable jobs, capable job competence, and that we are not lots of we have to there for that should be that because first we are to go to the action. We are not to or the
what are the phrase?
Thing that especially Africa, we're not yet there. We are the need Africa system. We need to opportunities for women and so and so where that should that should be our strategy forward. That's how I see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because we had some. Yeah, you are breaking. Okay, from the moment you started talking, you are really breaking, and I think it was from our end because everyone froze. Everyone was frozen. So I don't know. I'm being asked that you repeat. I'm sorry.
Can I repeat it then?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what I said is, the DI, diversity inclusion, is very important now for our sake because we are not yet there. But merit-based approach should be our strategy to go forward because for me, especially the gender component, especially that part, we're saying that women are equal to man, and we are capable of doing everything. We can compete and get jobs anywhere we like. And so if that's the case, we have to strategize to reach there. But we're not yet there. So that's what I'm saying. We have to do lots of things, especially here in Africa. We have to give opportunities for young women to be educated. We have to give opportunities to secure job. They have to be well in economic matters, and there are lots of gender bias issues. There are lots of problems related to gender. So we have to do the DAI, but the strategy and our direction should be that the merit-based approach. Okay. So maybe America, they are there, or they reached in that system. But for Africans, we are not there. We have lots of things to do. So that's what I want to say.
Okay, thank you. I'm thinking about this is a conversation we have so much in Kenya. So maybe Esther, I'd really like to hear your reaction, especially since I believe you're working with both boys and girls in your CBO, right?
I agree with Ethiopia that we are not yet there, but that's why we are here.
Okay.
We are here to make sure that it happens. If we don't push, nothing comes on a silver platter. Mm-hmm. That's why women who are professionally able are not getting equal chances like men who are able, or who are also who are equally educated. So what we are looking at is that in Kenya, merit is one of the issues that we look at when people are being employed, whether a lady or a man has the qualifications. Of course, there are challenges. Sometimes a man will be preferred against. We have looked at job advertisements where they say a lady is preferred, or others say a man is preferred. Yeah. So, I think it depends on the background of the job. But generally speaking, Kenya, when it comes to employment, whether it's a lady or when it comes to gender, we are not yet there. But slowly, I think as things are working, we will get there. But 100%, we are not there yet.
Okay.
But things are working because of the push that we have from the leadership of ladies who are really working hard to make sure that we get our rights, but we'll be there.
Okay. And where do you think we find the balance, especially in Kenya? I think currently there are those conversations around the men complaining that, women have been over-empowered and now they're taking everything, and men have been disempowered, and they're not able to fit into these professional spaces or leadership spaces. So generally they think that women are being empowered to take everything that was meant for men. Where do we find the balance, especially if you're working with both genders?
It is true in Kenya, people favored the girl child so much that they forgot about the boy child. And that's why you find that now the boy child in Kenya is an endangered species, unlike the girls. Because people concentrated so much on the girl child that they forgot there is a boy. And these two cannot be separated, because in future the boy will need a wife, isn't it? So you'll find that in Kenya, I don't know whether it's happening in other African countries, girls are not getting married. They are so much empowered that they feel the men are violent, the men might not support them the way they want. So you find that the girl child in Kenya want to do their own thing. They want the boys for friendship, but not for marriage. Why? Because what they used to hear about the men being violent, killing, or what they see their fathers doing to their mother when it comes to gender-based violence, they don't want to go through that. So I'm saying that we forgot about the boys. If you go to the street children, most of them are boys.
True.
Why? Because nobody. All NGOs, international NGOs which came into Kenya, they were looking for the girl child to educate them, to mentor them about their rights, to give them a seed fund to start business, and the boy child was left. And now when things are working very well for the girl child, is when they are asking, where is the boy? Looking at the back, they found that they forgot about the boys, and now NGOs now have gone back. I don't know whether in your other countries you have. In Kenya, we have a men's club where they hold a meeting to discuss about ladies and how they are beaten by their wives, how they are mistreated by their wives. So so we have two versions. We have women maendeleo ya wanawake, and then we have maendeleo ya wanaume. One belongs to the men, one belongs to the ladies. Now the ladies had started this to come together and see how they can counter men and do development on themselves. And they went so far, they went to Beijing, and then they came empowered. And when they came empowered, they started ruling the men, even in their own houses. Now the men have seen, the ladies have gone so far now, they've started their own club, they meet annually, they discuss about their wives, about their girlfriend, how they are mistreated and what they should do. So what I'm saying in short is that in Kenya, we need now to uplift the boy child so that we are at par.
Yes, we need to
But for
balance.
women, people we'll say they are informed. They are well informed.
Okay.
The women.
Yeah, so there's a need to balance, especially since, YMCA exists for both youth, regardless of gender, and just regardless of your gender. I think we should also be conscious within the organization to balance the empowerment. Again, I don't know if it has to be 50-50, but I think so far we have been striving towards 50-50, when we are looking at the opportunities, the training opportunities, the change agents. I think we really focus so much on ensuring that we have like one man, one lady trainings like S2C ambassador. We ensure that we have one man, one lady. But then, it's something that we really have to continue being conscious about, so that we don't also cry in YMCA that, we forgot about men and really focus so much on the women. Yes, Charelle, sorry for your internet. I'm sorry for what your internet is doing to you today. Don't worry about it. So maybe we can loop you in. Do you think you've ever really experienced like a gender stereotype in your leadership? Like, have you had an experience where you felt like I'm being treated or I'm expected to behave in a particular way because I'm a leader who is female? And what did you do about it?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm asking if you have ever experienced, being treated differently, let's say because you are a woman, and what did you do about it? It can be within the YMCA, it can be outside YMCA.
Um, I think I shared this experience when I was at the university. I was trying to be a part of accounting club. I put my sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so like 2020, let me press 2030. I was at university trying to be leader of accounting club. So the man who was taking the lead of the election, he was like, I don't think that you, Charelle, you should put your fish because you are a girl. Let a woman take a lead of this club. So I was like, why? Why should I just stay away because there is a man who like to be a leader of this club? Why? I try to understand, and I see this boy. I try to discuss with him, and he told me that he's a boy. He have a he have a right to be a leader because he's a boy. So Charelle, you just stay behind me and let us do it together. But you cannot take the lead, so you have just to follow me. So I was like. That was my second year at the university, and I was like, no, because I have a strong character. So I said, no, I cannot just stay away because you need to take the lead. So I put my candidate. We got to election. I win the election. But I have to face that discrimination because I have like 10 or just 10 persons who stay with me and defend my cause. So the other people were just, oh, she's a girl, she cannot do it. But the 10 persons who stay with me help me, and finally I got the election.
Okay. Congratulations. Years later still. Congratulations. Okay. There are these terminologies that are being used when it comes to our agenda and when it comes to leadership in the women's space. And one of them is the strong Black African woman, and then the other one is the alpha woman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those two terminologies. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think about being referred to as a strong African woman, and what do you think about being referred to as an alpha female?
Well, for the strong Black African woman, for me, I'm an African. I'm a woman, and I'm a strong. So I don't mind if people call me a strong African woman leader. So for me, it shows and it describes myself. So as a woman, I am a woman. As African, I am an African. I'm Black, so I'm okay with that. If people call me about that, so I'm okay with that. The alpha woman, I try to read some articles, and the alpha women are self-assured, powerful, confident women that takes on leadership role whether at work, in social settings, within the family, and they have this natural ability to lead and guide others. They are independent and self-sufficient. So for me, I myself be categorized in that alpha woman, and also other women around me, other African women who are working at YMCA. I mean, they can include it in this narrative. One thing I'm not go with the definition is it says alpha women are aggressive women. So for me, I'm assertive. I'm not aggressive. So I don't want to be aggressive, but more assertive. So maybe apart from that, for me, the alpha woman is an exact description of myself and other women around me, and at YMCA and in other sectors as well. So, so that's how I see things. And one question you ask is, do you think we can have more than one alpha woman in YMCA board? Of course, yes. We should have those women leaders around us. In my YMCA in Ethiopia, we are 9, and from 9, 4 of them are woman leaders, and they are alpha women. Okay. So yeah, we can complement each other. We can work together. So I think that's important for me to have this alpha woman. If I don't know, the description is that, so I can be an alpha woman as well. So everyone in this even panel is an alpha woman for me. Okay. So thank you.
Okay, Nelly, you want to go next? Are you an alpha woman, Nelly?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I kind of have like the same perceptions as Ethiopia. So about the strong Black woman, I have nothing being described as a strong Black woman. I'm a strong Black woman, but I think that there is that another term like the loud Black woman, which is like when you are called loud, it might have two meanings, and maybe it can be negative or positive, and maybe you can just loud because, for example, in Madagascar, in my tribe, for example, we tend to speak louder, and when we are out with other communities, people call you loud, and they see that as a negative thing, but I mean that's how we speak, so so that's it. But I think the term loud Black woman is also like when you're in a space and when you try to express yourself, you tend to raise your voice. So I think we also need to learn that when you want to express ourselves, we need to strengthen our arguments, but not to raise our voice. And about okay, I'm going out of the subject, so I'm going back. About the term alpha woman, I'm naturally quite familiar with that term, but I have checked what it means, and as Ethiopia said, it means that you are being assertive, confident, with leadership skills. So, yeah, I think that's a good term. Like I've heard about the term alpha men, and it has that egocentric and narcissistic. Okay, I don't know the term, but alpha woman, I think it's a good description. And being an alpha woman it's a compliment, and yeah, those are my thoughts. Yeah.
Okay, Charelle, what do you think? You're still here. Okay.
Okay. strong black woman. It depends on the context on which you are being called a strong black woman. Maybe there were the two of you, a man and a woman, and then you did something better. So you are referred to as strong black woman. It can also be negative. It can also be negative depending on the situation that you are being called a strong black woman. But to me, if I'm called it positively, I don't mind, because I've done something that maybe somebody else wouldn't have done. Then I wouldn't mind being called a strong black woman, maybe because I've succeeded somewhere where I was not expected to succeed. But if it's negative, then it becomes a bit difficult to be a black strong woman. But if it's because of visibility or something that you've done that is good, then it's okay. Otherwise, if you look at the two, alpha becomes a bit better because it has good characteristics in it. It doesn't have something that will want you to find out whether, when I was called a strong black woman, what did he mean? But if it's alpha, you know everything is okay. So I think depending on the context, I wouldn't mind either.
You don't mind being an alpha
The way
woman?
we are, like sorry, Sharon, like the strong black African women in this panel.
Okay.
You see, that's very positive, and we can take that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Charelle, you want to say something?
I agree with Esther. I agree with her. For me, alpha women depends also to the circumstance. Me, I define, for me, be a alpha or be a woman is just to do the right way, to try to do always the best, give the best where people are fighting to try to succeed, to give your best to succeed. And for me, be a alpha or a strong man, it will also to have that ability to take like foolish thing or like dirty thing and to arrange it and bring that thing like something very innovative, something special, something. So that ability to take the best from the nothing, you know. For me, being a alpha woman, like be an innovative woman, be innovative woman. So that's what I can say.
Okay. I think from my end, I feel like alpha women, alpha women don't tend to have the typical feminine energy kind of leadership. They're more aggressive, but then if you are feminine kind of a leader, you are quite, laid back, leading from the back, all those other leadership traits that they're talking about. But then when you're alpha, you take the front lead, you're much more aggressive, you're much more loud, as Nali was saying, which it's always seen as a, not so feminine kind of a leadership. And many people struggle to accept like an alpha woman. Okay, the standard definition as it is actually quite okay. But now when you come to the society and how they understand or how they put like the feminine leader versus the alpha female leaders, it's quite different. And if you look at let's say in Kenya, Esther can relate, like there's she talked about Martha Karua. She's one of the like frontliners when it comes to leadership, when it comes to women leadership. And maybe I'd compare her with there's another lady, she's called Anne Waiguru, and those are two women. If you look at the past the 2022 political season, they were quite being compared, and you'll find that people really, they didn't like Martha because of how she was quite aggressive, quite, forward, quite outspoken, quite loud, as opposed to Anne Waiguru, who was having like, the feminine aura. She's calm, she speaks in a certain way, in a very feminine way. She doesn't shout back, she doesn't, so there's quite a difference. And people have really argued that there are arguments out there, like, you can't have two alpha women in the same room, because one person is always going to try to suppress the other person's voice. So there's always that trying to balance, like, two alpha women. But again, that is a stereotype, because at the end of the day, if it's an opinion, it has to be expressed regardless of how it is being expressed. And the fact that two women are being vocal, people are not used to, or 4 or 5 women, we are not quite used to, like, having very many voices. So when you have a room of 4 or 5 women who are loud, people tend to think, they're alpha and they're competing and they can't fit in the same room. So it becomes like a little bit problematic. Okay, so let's go back to, unless you have a reaction, but yeah, let's go back to YMCA and young men Christian. Those 3 names, they tend to spark conversations. People have different reactions to the names, and I don't know if, as a woman, do you feel somehow as a leader within the organization, just based on the name young, if you're not young enough to fit
Recording
within,
stopped.
Sorry, we continue? Okay, if you're not, sorry, the recording has just stopped. So I was saying, like, the organization, people already questioning.
Recording in progress.
People already questioning the young in the organization, if you are young enough to fit within the definition of young, if you are a man enough to fit within the definition of men. Of course, they say men is, it's the, how do you call it, like the standard man definition, let's say in the Bible. So they didn't really want to lean towards, like, the male gender, but then they just called it man, because man is what biblically initially referred to, like, both people. And then it comes to when you come to Christian again, like, are you Christian enough again to lead within the organization? So these are some of the, I don't know if it has gotten to your end, but there are some of the conversations that especially young people are having within their branches, within their communities. So the 3 young men Christian, do you feel like they affect your leadership, or do you think they should affect how you lead within the organization?
I can go first.
Yes.
When I tell people of my being a vice president at YMCA, they tell me whether I've forgotten. I mean YWCA. I said no. I mean YMCA. Then they asked me, but you're not a man. I said it's not meant for men alone. Now if you look at the issues we have had even before in YMCA about leadership, and here we are, me and Ethiopia and Nali, and even our CEO, African Alliance, we are talking about ladies taking big roles in YMCA. We are not young. We usually say young people, the age goes up to 35, is it?
Yes.
I'm very sure the 3 of us or more are above 35. And that's when the question comes. Why YMCA and what are ladies doing in YMCA? And you have correctly answered, the word man does not mean male. It means a human being, biblical man. God made man out of his own image. That man there means a human being. Now, leadership in YMCA, I think we've had issues about it. The young people think they are not fully represented. I hope Nali is listening. And maybe some of us are too old to be in YMCA because of our age.
Okay.
But they say that you cannot stop being a mother because your children have grown up. Because you are there to guide and guard them. And that's why in YMCA we have both gender and we have different ages, and youth are represented.
Is it from my end? I think. Yeah, Esther's frozen a bit. So maybe Ethiopia, you can take over and then she'll finish when she's back.
Yeah, I mean, she said it all. Even I myself face the same problem. People say that you are a woman, and why are you leading the association that focuses on man? So my answer always is, even if the name said Young Man Christian Association, it serves all both genders, both sexes, woman and man, and it also serves everyone, every young woman, woman, whether they are Muslim, whether they are Christian, and everyone. So that's how we are. Giving answers. It's a big problem. I mean, to link with a Muslim boy, for example, because it says they're Christian. So it needs more interaction and more discussion with young people to understand it well. Because the service that we are rendering, the service that we are giving is for everyone, for young people in general, and not only for boys, but also for girls. So, the discussion should be there, but it is a problem. Even, not only boys, girls, but also even in the government institutions, they asked me, why you are in YMCA? Why don't you go to YWCA? So there are lots of back and forth about it. But we always say that the service that we are providing is for all human beings, specifically young women and men, and for all religions. So that's my answer to that question. But it really have its own problem. That's what I can say.
Okay. Oh, Nali?
And also, it's a brand name.
Yes.
178 years.
Okay.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So we have been using YMCA, so we don't want to change that. It's a brand name. So we have to, continue using YMCA whenever we have that kind of question. We will answer with what Esther defined man is as human being. So, and in the Bible, it is it's human being. It refers to human being. So. And I think we can navigate with this, with those descriptions and justifications. Thank you.
Okay. Nali, what has been your experience?
So, personally, the name of the organization, it was Young Men Christian. So for the case in Madagascar, we still use the English name. We didn't translate it like in other French speaking countries. So most of the time, people think that YMCA it's like a kind of English club that then everybody can join. But yeah, when we talk to other organizations and try to have that partnership, and we then try to explain what is the meaning of the name Young Men Christian, and then some people like, okay, so it is a Young Men Christian Association and you're a girl, what are you doing there? There is always that question, and then we start to explain that yes, we have that name, but it is a totally inclusive organization, that we include people who are not that young, that we include women, and we also welcome people who are not Christian. But yes, that is the case in Madagascar. We always try to explain that we are inclusive, that we are diverse, and we have those values of diversity, inclusion, and equity in our organization. But when people see the name, there is always those stereotypes and that fixed that ideas that if this is the name, so that is what they're doing. So the name, it's how to say this? We need to always explain what is the organization, and that it includes everyone. And there is always that question. So, like, why don't you join YWCA, or why aren't the two organizations together? They have this kind of the same name. Yeah. So these are my thoughts on that point. We always need to explain to people that we are totally inclusive in our organization, no matter the name. Yeah.
I like that we are facing the same challenges when it comes to, explaining what exactly we are doing in the organization. Charelle, you wanted to say something? Sharon. Okay. Yeah. As I was saying, it's good to hear that, especially as ladies, we have to explain about the organization and what we are doing more as compared to, let's say, man explaining that they're from the YMCA and they're automatically understood. And they're just understood to be rightfully belonging there without being asked to go to the YWCA, join, merge and everything. Esther, welcome back. I don't know if you finished what you're saying before the internet threw out.
Sorry, we went out of power.
Okay, it's okay.
And because the internet left. I can, as you can see, I put on my mobile phone on so that in case the power goes, I still have. I don't need to lose you guys.
Okay.
So I was saying the name is not a really big issue. The issue is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
What does YMCA do? And if what YMCA does is as per the policies and what it's supposed to do, then I think we are okay. We are there to explain and explain and explain. Just like teaching in a class, you keep on explaining things every day for the young ones, for them to understand what it is.
Yeah.
So the name is not an issue, and I think we are good to go. But it brings a lot of confusion because of men.
Okay. So still Esther, you are serving as the women representative at the Executive Committee Africa Alliance. And my question is, do you think the position is relevant? And what what are you contributing to the organization, and how does it affect, like, let's say, the young person in a Busia branch or at Tananarivo, somewhere in Cameroon?
It's Women International Day,
Yes.
and I represent women in African Alliance. And that's what I stand for. That the women whom we represent in African Alliance should be recognized. These women should be made to understand that they have a role to play in African Alliance or in all YMCAs that they belong to. They should not feel that they are left out. The word men should not be an issue where women are left out so that only men are dealt with. And that's why I come in as a women representative to make sure that issues that belong or that affect the ladies in YMCA are dealt with, and the women feel that they also belong, so that we are not discriminated like outsiders say that what are you doing in a men's club or in a men's organization. They should feel that they belong, and whatever decisions that are made, they are also included as women in YMCA. I think that's my take.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Okay, Nali, before you go, your question and Charelle, maybe you can talk about your contribution, one particular contribution you feel you have really made to the organization that it's your kind of legacy, something that people associate your name to. sorry
That's
for
a tough
putting you on the spot.
So, my contribution in the organization. So, I think I have always made sure to be the voice of young people and to represent their interest. And whenever we talk about programs or whatever we're talking about, I need to make sure that the interests of young people are always at the heart of those discussions. So yeah, I think that's what I can say for now.
Okay. Charelle. You're muted.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear I was out.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was asking your contribution to the organization. What is that one thing you feel like you have, the organization associates you with, or you have contributed? Yes, you have contributed to the organization. That one special thing you feel you have contributed to the organization.
Okay, I think that I am very invested in my organization. And my organization, so I have to. In fact, I am always there when they need me for all, and the organization is very invested also. So I don't know if I got the question.
Yes, you're answering correct.
Sorry?
You're answering well. We lost her again. Ethiopia, with your position, maybe you could tell us your, how do you call it, your legacy, a roadmap what does it look like? How do you want to be remembered as the vice president of YMCA executive committee?
In my position as vice president, I'm contributing and leading the strategic alignment committee and work closely with innovation audit and other aspects of the AAY with my colleagues. So we've been doing lots of things. We are governing, we are leading the national movements of Africa, YMCA. So there are issues that we have to deal every day, every week. So I feel that I'm contributing a lot. Mm-hmm. And I want to be remembered as a great leader who served and contributed a lot to take AAY to the next level. So that's one of the things that I really want people to remember about me when I left my position. Okay. And that's my legacy to contribute, to serve the national movements, the young people of Africa. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Esther, what's your legacy roadmap? How do you want to be remembered as the women representative?
My dream is to see Africa YMCAs involve fully the young ladies and the ladies who are members. That the policies that are made are supposed to be inclusive, not discriminating. And I would urge the African ladies in YMCAs to come up and also support this organization with their what they have in mind. They need to be done for them. We know we need a lot of empowerment, and I pray that empowerment should be done to its fullness. We need also to know that all the policies that African Alliance does or African YMCA should also include both genders. We also need to emphasize that we need inclusivity when it comes to leadership in the YMCA, that all should be included. By the time we leave these leadership positions, those would also come to appreciate that those who are there managed to put in policies which enable the women to move further or to move together with the men. That's my wish and prayer that it will happen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We noticed your contributions, and we are grateful that you're leading us at this particular point. So as we are winding up, maybe you can give us your parting shots and a special message for the International Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day again. Women, we have a potential to do much better than what we are doing. And all this starts with us. Let's not wait for men to do things for us. Let's come together as women. Let's love each other, because that's where all starts. Sometimes women, we are known to be our own enemies, and sometimes it limits our progress. I pray that we all come together, look at our challenges, and look at the way we can organize ourselves and beat these challenges, because I know we are able. Let's come together and all will be well as we plan our future together. Happy International Women's Day once more.
Thank you. Ethiopia, your parting shots?
Yeah. Happy International Women's Day as well. For me, I would like to say, let's believe in ourselves, and we don't doubt our capacities and potentials. We have lots of potentials, we have lots of capacities, and we can make it. We can lead as a woman. As Esther said, nobody will give us a chance to lead, an opportunity to lead. We have to go there and fight for it and grab the opportunity and lead the way. So, yeah, let's believe in ourselves. That's my always takeaway and my always advice for young people out there, women out there. So, believe in ourselves. That's my message. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Charelle, maybe you want to share with us your International Women's Day message and your parting shot?
Yeah, happy International Women's Day. Let us come together and give our best, give ourselves, give our ability to build a better community for all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, for making time to attend our podcast recording. I appreciate it. We don't take it lightly. Happy International Women's Day from YMCA and the whole podcasting community. And we are looking forward to seeing more that you're contributing in your different capacities within the organization. And again, we notice what you are doing and we are clapping. It might not be loud, but we are cheering and clapping behind and saying, that is someone who is contributing, and not just because they are women leaders, but they are good leaders who happen to be women. So happy International Women's Day and happy International Women's Day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.